My name is Joe. These are just opinions. Welcome to the Rad Flicks Christmas Movie Marathon for 2024. You know the rules. Christmas movie every single night, the month of December. If you miss a night, that's okay. You just watch 2 movies the next night. No big whoop. Family-friendly options and not family-friendly options. So there's something for everyone every night. This is the second year we've done this. Remember to go back and watch last year's if you haven't already. This year we're going a little out there. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Rad Flicks here on the Joepinionated channel. There's no swearing on the Rad Flicks Christmas Movie Marathon. Like I said, there's going to be an option, family-friendly option. You check in on your own kids. You figure out what's right for you. Okay, on December 1st, we're starting off with Rankin and Bass, The Year Without Santa. The Year Without a Santa Claus. This one's from 1974, stop-motion animated TV Klaus. Santa's just not into Christmas this year, so he decides he's going to skip it. That's the premise. Rankin and Bass, these are elite classics for December 1st. First movie we're watching on the Christmas Movie Marathon from RadFlicks is The Year Without a Santa Claus, 1974. The alternate for December 1st, brought to you by Rennie Harlan, starring Bruce Willis. We're going with Die Hard 2, Die Harder. I think it was called Die Harder, wasn't it? I can swear to God on my old VHS, I can picture it said Die Harder, but maybe I'm wrong. This is the one where John McClane finds himself at Dulles International Airport in Washington, D.C. I had the chance of going there. It was like heaven for me. I'm a massive Bruce Willis Die Hard fan, both of them. The best, some of the absolute best for action movies, and once again, said at Christmas time, there's going to be some of these ones on this list. December 1st, the alternate is Die Hard 2, Die Harder. Pick one and run with it. I loved it. When I was at the Dulles Airport, running around the airport looking for the Dulles Skywalk, or the Annex Skywalk? Man, I can't remember what it's called now. Next up, December 2nd. Now we're getting a real old classic here from 1945. Director Peter Godfrey. We're going with Christmas in Connecticut. Barbara Stanwyck plays this character that's pretending to live at a farm out in Connecticut, but actually she's living in an apartment in New York City. That's the premise. It's a classic, Christmas in Connecticut, on December the 2nd, or the alternate. From 1987, Richard Donner directed, Danny Glover and Mel Gibson in Die Hard. In Lethal Weapon. Co-starring Gary Busey, Tom Atkins, Mitchell Ryan. The buddy cop movies, right? 48 Hours was such a big one. John McClane buddies up with Samuel L. Jackson in Die Hard 3 later. Lethal Weapon, also set around Christmas time. It's rated R, of course, kidnapping, people jumping off balconies, all sorts of stuff. Lethal Weapon, is it a Christmas movie? We're gonna know. We tried it. We're gonna say we tried it. December the 3rd this year, we're going with 1997's Home Alone 3. Home Alone 3 on December the 3rd this year. So a little bit of a turnaround from last year. December the 2nd, we went with Home Alone 2. This year, we're going Home Alone 3 on the 3rd in the Christmas Movie Marathon. For the most part, there's just a bunch of different people in this one. There's no Joe Pesci. There's no Daniel Stern. There's no Macaulay Culkin. There's no John Candy. There's no Catherine O'Hare. It's a Christmas movie, and we're watching it on the 3rd, Home Alone 3. December 3rd, the alternate comes from 1983. Jamie Lee Curtis, Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy. It's Trading Places. Way rated R. Mentioned it last year. I think it was an alternate last year. So there's the first one to pop up twice. But Trading Places, back-to-back years. It's a RadFlicks Christmas standard at this point. Directed by Satoshi Kon. December 4th, we're watching Tokyo Godfathers. Mayuki, Hannah, and Jin find an abandoned baby on Christmas Eve in Tokyo. And they're trying to return this baby to the parents, and that's the premise of the show, Tokyo Godfathers. The version that I have is subtitles, so you got to read it. The alternate for December the 4th is Gremlins. Now, Gremlins did actually come up last year in the Christmas Movie Marathon. It's the second RadFlicks Christmas Movie Marathon standard. Just all of you. You can hear that. Gremlins is, the alternate. So that's Joe Dante. Joe Dante is such a cool director who's come up many times on RadFlicks. On this channel, Joepinionated, check it out. It's at My Friend Joe on YouTube. I don't know how many movie episodes at this point, like 50 or something. Lots of 80s and 90s focus so far, going into other decades shortly. Written by Chris Columbus, who also wrote Goonies, who directed Home Alone and Harry Potter. Yeah, a couple of good ones. And Corey Feldman's in Gremlins too. All right, December 5th from 2018, starring Judah Lewis and Kurt Russell. We're going with The Christmas Chronicle. December 5th, The Christmas Chronicle. And that one came out on Netflix a few years ago. And it's a movie about two kids trying to capture Santa Claus on camera. Santa's played by Kurt Russell. And the alternate for December the 5th is Batman Returns. Batman Returns, 1992's Batman Returns. So this is Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken. And I really love DeVito's Penguin character is really cool. And that new Penguin TV show, if you haven't seen that, excellent. Really good. And I don't normally like any comic book stuff, but that new Penguin miniseries, I want to say Prime, maybe, no, HBO maybe. Anyways, that show's great. So yeah, the backup is Batman Returns from Tim Burton. Check out the Tim Burton episode on this channel. See where Batman Return ranks on my Tim Burton top 10 movies countdown. All right, December the 6th. This one goes out to Amy. Claus from 2019. It's an animated Christmas comedy directed by Sergio Pablo. Film stars Jason Schwartzman, one of my favorites from Rushmore. Check out my many episodes on Wes Anderson. Jason Schwartzman obviously featured in those. I love Rushmore. Classic. So shout out to Amy for pointing that out. December the 7th from 2002. It's a very merry Muppet Christmas movie starring Kermit Z. Frog, Joan Cusack, David Arquette, F. Murray Abraham. It's a Muppets Christmas movie. It's a very merry Muppet Christmas movie. Alternate for December 7th is Die Hard, the original Die Hard with Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman, Bonnie Bedelia. And it's the one at the Nakatomi Tower. It's on Christmas Eve. It's Die Hard. It's legendary Christmas classic these days. If you're not watching Die Hard around Christmas, you're missing out. Okay, December the 8th, we're watching The Nightmare Before Christmas. December 8th, we're watching Nightmare Before Christmas. That's Henry Selick, directed, produced by Tim Burton, starring Danny Elfman, Catherine O'Hara, Chris Sarandon. He's the king of Halloween Town. He stumbles upon Christmas Town, likes what he sees. I'm sorry. The alternate for this day is The Holiday from 2006. This is kind of like, romantic comedy, The Holiday, starring Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, Jude Law, Jack Black. December 9th, starring James McAvoy, Hugh Laurie, Jim Broadbent. It's Arthur Christmas from 2011. So this is like a computer animated movie. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's just about one kid missing his Christmas present, and they're trying to step up and help out Santa get this present to this kid. Arthur Christmas. And the alternate on December 9th from Richard Donner again. Richard Donner directed Goonies, Lethal Weapon earlier. This time from 1988, starring Karen Allen and Bill Murray, it's Scrooged. Another take on A Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens' classic, which is responsible for many Christmas traditions. I talked about it last year as well. I'll put the link up again. The History Channel, The History of Christmas on the History Channel. You can find it on YouTube, so I'll have a link for it below in the playlist. Also in the comments, I'll put a link in the comments as well. But in the description for this video, there'll be a link. Scrooged, 1988, great soundtrack to you. December 10th, JTT time, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. From 1998, we're going with I'll Be Home for Christmas, directed by Arlene Sanford, starring Jessica Biel and JTT. JTT gets stranded in the middle of nowhere. He's trying to get home to his girl for Christmas. And the alternate, December 10th, is The Night Before, starring Jason Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, Lizzie Kaplan, and Jillian Bell. They have a tradition. They hang out every single year. It's on Christmas Eve and get plastered. And they've always dreamed of getting into this Nutcrackers ball, and this is the last time they're getting together on Christmas Eve, and try to get to this party. All right, this is a fun time of the show where we talk about what's behind me. We got Buddy the Elf, Clark W. Griswold, Cousin Eddie, Santa from the Santa Claus, Marv, and Harry, and Kevin McAllister from Home Alone, John McClane from Die Hard, The Grinch, and then some characters from Mickey's Christmas Carol. Up next, another shout out to some commenters on my posts. Last year, I left out one that off the Christmas movie marathon. So December 11th, we're watching The Family Stone, starring Dan Keaton, who I absolutely love, Sarah Jessica Parker, who my wife absolutely loves, Rachel McAdams, who everybody loves, Luke Wilson, awesome, Claire Danes. The Family Stone, that's what we're watching on December 11th. This is a like dramedy. It's a dramedy, but like a quirky family and getting introduced to the in-laws, that sort of thing. Back up for December the 11th is the Trailer Park Boys Xmas special. Trailer Park Boys, you can find it on Netflix. Their Christmas special is fantastic, and I hope it's introducing you to the Trailer Park Boys for the first time, because it's an excellent way to introduce yourself to the craziness that is the Trailer Park Boys. Be ready for some rated R stuff, but get ready to fall in love with all these characters, every single character on the show. Ricky, Bubbles, Julian, J-Rock, J to the ROC, Mr. Leahy, Randy, Lucy, Trinity, everybody in this show is incredible. Yeah, one of my favorite shows of all time is The Trailer Park Boys. Hands down, one of the funniest television shows of all time, up there with South Park and Monty Python and, The Simpsons, Arrested Development, Curb Your Enthusiasm. This thing is elite. So if you haven't got into The Trailer Park Boys, I suggest you give it a try or give it another try. The movies aren't as great as the TV show itself. Start from season 1, work your way through. The Christmas episode is actually like a prequel to the TV show, so that's kind of cool too. So watch it; it'll make everything make more sense. On December 12th, this one will make Janet happy. It's Love Actually. December 12th, we're watching Love Actually, another romantic comedy. This year, you're probably thinking I'm in trouble with the wife, and I'm not. I'm just mixing it up a bit. Last year was all straightforward heavy hitters, Christmas heavy hitters. And this year we're stretching it out a little bit. And the alternate is Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh from South Park, from Trey Parker and Matt Stone, also starring Isaac Hayes. Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh is one of the funniest things ever made as well, and it's from South Park. So right up there with the Trailer Park Boys. I also mentioned South Park as one of the funniest shows of all time, and I think it is. I also love that these guys love Ween, and there's many Ween episodes on this channel as well. Not just movies, lots of music episodes. The alternate on December 12th is Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh. December the 13th, we're going with The Man Who Invented Christmas from 2017. And this is a movie about Charles Dickens trying to come up with the plot for Christmas Carol. So it's a movie about Charles Dickens, came out in 2017. I think it's pretty interesting. The Man Who Invented Christmas is totally true. Like I said in that History Channel documentary, there was Yule, and then there was basically Saturnalia, lots of pagan traditions, and then some other stuff, some Christmas, but all these other, the Christmas tree and Rudolph and all that stuff. Charles Dickens might have a hand in some of that stuff, a hand in a lot of these Christmas traditions. Back up on December the 13th for the adults is Bad Santa Part 2, starring Kathy Bates and Billy Bob Thornton. Tony Cox was Part 2. I was a little bit disappointed in this one, but you know what? I love Billy Bob. I love Kathy Bates. I really like the first Bad Santa, especially the unrated version. The red box Badder Santa, that's the one that I like. If you see it on DVD at the store, there's tons of copies out there at the thrift stores and that sort of stuff. Pick it up. Anyways, Bad Santa 2 is the alternate for December 13th on the Rad Flicks Christmas Movie Marathon. December 14th, we're watching Prancer. I think it's on Disney+. This one stars Sam Elliott, Rebecca Harrell. It's Prancer. You remember Prancer? It's about Prancer. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen. The story follows this young girl who discovers a reindeer, and she thinks it's Prancer. She's got a good eye for reindeers. Back up from 2011 is a very Harold and Kumar Christmas. Some classic Christmas trees. This one's my all-time least favorite Christmas tree. It's like some flame retardant white stuff all over it. It had snowed that Christmas and there was nothing left. Me and my mom went around town, tried to find a Christmas tree, and that's all we could get. All right, December 15th from 2004, we're going with Surviving Christmas. This is James Gandolfini, Christina Applegate, Ben Affleck, Catherine O'Hara. She's a Christmas goat, apparently, and a comedy legend, Catherine O'Hara, and a Canadian. Ben Affleck's tired of being alone on Christmas, so decides to pay a family to be with him, Surviving Christmas. And the backup for December 15th is The Ref, 1994, starring Judy Davis, Kevin Spacey, Dennis Leary. The Ref. Dennis Leary's a bad guy, takes a family hostage, and their brat kid's coming back from private school. This one always reminds me of the one with Ed O'Neill, John Hughes, Thanksgiving classic, Dutch. That's the naughty list. This is the nice list, nice and naughty list here on the Christmas Movie Marathon. December 16th, we're going with Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, trying to get that action figure. What's he called? Turbo Man. Kids, this is something we used to worry about before. You could just get anything at the tip of your fingers by pressing a button and clicking buy. You had to leave your house and go out and socialize and look for things. And sometimes there's a hot item. That's what this movie's about. Little Pony, Cabbage Patch Dolls, Teddy Ruxpin was a really big one at one point. Tickle Me Elmo was a big one at one point. Tamagotchis, Beanie Babies. Every year there's something. LOL dolls a few years ago. Fidget spinners. The toy of the year. You had to get it. Light Bright. The backup for December 16th is Elf from 2003. Starring Will Ferrell, James Caan, Zooey Deschanel, Bob Newhart, and a modern Christmas classic. Last year I watched Spirited, I think it was called, which was a Will Ferrell movie. And I threatened that I might put it on this year if I really liked it. We'll see if I really liked it or not. December 17th, this one's kind of controversial. I know in a Discord I'm in, they don't like this one at all. But I do. I like Robert Zemeckis. I'm going with 2007's A Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. Robert Zemeckis directed. Is it the greatest Christmas Carol? I don't think I've heard anybody say that yet. Is it entertaining? Yeah, I think it is entertaining. I kind of like Jim Carrey doing it. I would have liked to see Jim Carrey actually playing the role. But one thing about Robert Zemeckis is that he's always kind of pushing the envelope. And I think that the special effects, the computer animation in this movie is actually really well done. December 18th, it's nice and easy again, Christmas with the Cranks. This is based off a John Grisham book called Surviving Christmas. I always thought that, but now there's a movie called Surviving Christmas, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was Surviving Christmas. Tim Allen, Jamie Lee Curtis, Dan Aykroyd, and these guys are going to skip out on Christmas because their daughter usually comes home. They usually throw this big party, and they go on this vacation. Another movie about skipping out on Christmas. And the alternate on December 18th is a movie called Mixed Nuts from 1994, starring Rita Wilson and Steve Martin. And it's about these people that are working at a suicide hotline around Christmas time. Entertaining movie, Christmas story. It's not super dark and gloomy like the description sounded. December 18th, the alternate is Mixed Nuts. If you haven't seen it, I remember really liking that show. I have not seen it in a long time. December 19th, from 1999, Wacko's Wish. This is a comedy based on the Animaniacs, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. I love the Animaniacs, and I love Wacko's Wish. I think it's actually a really cool Christmas show with great music, excellent music, super funny. Animaniacs, a great show for kids, where they do a couple of shorts based on if either you know the Animaniacs or you don't. I love the Animaniacs. It was a great cartoon, early 90s. Or their holiday classic, Wacko's Wish, December 19th. The alternate comes from Stanley Kubrick, and it's Eyes Wide Shut from 1999, the last film he made, and just barely finished it before he passed away, 1999. I'm a huge Stanley Kubrick nut. We've done episode on, there's a Rad Flicks 1999. We talk a lot about this movie. And that's probably the best breakdown of it on this channel. But also, obviously, you have Stanley Kubrick episode on this channel as well. Like, comment, subscribe. There's a lot of Christmas stuff going on. It's a movie about kind of a dream state. I do a complete breakdown on the movie in the Rad Flicks 1999. Check that out if you care. But Eyes Wide Shut, 1999. It comes in on December 19th as the alternate. It's way rated R, lots of nudity. December 20th, we're watching The Holdovers, directed by Alexander Payne, who directed Sideways and The Descendants. He directed something else really cool that I like too. I can't remember now. Paul Giamatti, Divine Joy Randolph, Dominique Sessa, based at a private school, and one of the teachers has to stay back and stay with the kids that don't go anywhere over the holidays. I didn't think it was like awesome or like, whoa, that was incredible. I didn't hit that level with this movie, but I've only watched it once on a plane. So I'm looking forward to giving this one another shot. I'm a huge Paul Giamatti fan, especially American, what's that show called? Harvey Picar. American, God, I can't think of what it's called for crazy. The Harvey Picar comic movie. Excellent. And the alternate for December 20th, we're going with Rocky IV. Rocky IV, the Christmas movie. Because it's based around Christmas, right? Rocky's got to go over to Russia, beat up Dolph Lundgren. You know how it goes. It's Rocky. Love these movies. Rocky 1 to 4, elite. And when Stallone even said in his documentary that he's not crazy about Rocky 5. Let's do this, Rock. Who needs a reason to watch Rocky 4? So cool. December the 21st, we're watching The Family Man from 2000. Directed by Brett Ratner, starring Tia Leone and Nick Cage. My man, Nick Cage. It's sort of a It's a Wonderful Life story, right? Where it's What If I Wasn't Born, or the Mr. Destiny from Jim Belushi's story of what if I went this way with this girl instead of that girl. And on the naughty list, the backup for this night is Mad TV Christmas from 2002-ish. Any sort of Mad TV Christmas specials. I remember really liking so Mad TV was like a sketch comedy TV show in the late 90s, I guess, early 2000s. Were they around that long? Rankin Bass parodies with the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I really like the one where Santa gets pulled over on cops. I don't know if anybody remembers that. And it's like, what is that? What do you got in there? Oh, that's just bags of snow. And he's all drunk and crashing his sleigh. Anyways, Mad TV Christmas is the backup for December 21st. We're getting really close. The kids are getting really excited now. December the 22nd, we are watching 8-Bit Christmas. Neil Patrick Harris, Winslow Fegley, Steve Zahn. I already told you all the 80s and 90s references, late 80s. And if you grew up in the 80s, I think you'd think this show's hilarious. All right, December 23rd, I switched up the McAllister one for the McAllister 2. We're watching Home Alone Part 2. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, Catherine O'Hara, Tim Curry. Not the Waldorf Astoria. Which one does he stay at? The Plaza Hotel in Manhattan. I remember the first day I went to Manhattan, the first place I really went to actually was the Plaza Hotel. Had to do it. Had to go up to the steps and get some pictures, and it was great. From John Hughes and Chris Columbus collaboration. Check out the channel for episodes on John Hughes and Chris Columbus. No alternate. We're just watching Home Alone 2, Lost in New York on December 23rd. And on Christmas Eve, we're watching from the year 2000, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, starring Jim Carrey, directed by Ron Howard. For the longest time, I wasn't crazy about this movie, but I definitely love watching it now. I think it's kind of great. I remember just kind of, I like the way it's all lit. I like the bright colors. I like how it kind of looks foggy in parts. I just think it's well done. I think it's a great, fun, easy to watch, cool movie. And it was actually the first DVD I ever owned was How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I have a Blockbuster copy of this that I purchased from Blockbuster. The first DVD I ever bought was a used version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas from 2000. And that's it. The backup for Christmas Eve is any Christmas classic that you have to watch every single December. Maybe the old Grinch, the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas from, I think it's 1968. So that's it for the Rad Flicks Christmas movie marathon. Let me know what I should put on the list next year. If you're like, hey, wait a second, there's a whole bunch of movies. What the hell's going on here? I don't want to watch those. Then check out the 2023 Rad Flicks Christmas movie marathon on this channel as well. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Merry Christmas. Happy all the holidays to you, to your family from ours here on the west coast of Canada, and from Rad Flicks and Joepinionated. Blessed 2025 to you and yours. Mic drop. We out.
With the tips of our fingers, it gets colder, we can go back into something. I got my love to keep me warm on CD, in a box in the hold. If it gets cold, we could play it. I got my love to keep me warm. When it snows, we can slay it. Winter's okay. Winter's okay. Winter's okay. Winter's okay. When it snows, we can sing with our mouths wide open and pretend we're in a Charlie Brown Christmas. When it snows, we can spin our time.